with a recent surge in cases throughout the United States due to the spread of the Delta variant. Our business community has had to make yet another set of adjustments in order to keep their doors open, keep their customers and their employees safe, and continue to operate under the conditions that we're in. To talk more about how these businesses have continued to make their adjustments and are making adjustments in our recent times, we're pleased to be joined once again by the chair of the Pontiac Regional Chamber, Damanay Head, on the Oakland County MegaCast. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you on. So let's begin with the situation with the Delta variant. Oakland County has now suggested that that local businesses have their customers and their employees go back to wearing masks. We're currently seeing an uptick in Delta variant spread, not only in Oakland County, but all throughout the state of Michigan and the U.S. How are businesses in this present time adjusting to that, as there continues to be that urgency to go back out and get back into some sort of regular life, as they're trying to gain some momentum back from the time that might have been lost over the bulk of the pandemic? How are they making those adjustments at this present moment?
Well, I can tell you a little bit from my perspective in Pontiac that, you have the Crowfoot Ballroom, which is shifted to an outdoor stadium in Lot 9, right off Woodward. So you're seeing, people kind of migrate and integrate towards new business models. Definitely we're experiencing downtown the open districts. So the public open districts in the downtown. So you're seeing more patio versions of restaurants in the downtown area of Pontiac. So Liberty Bar just put a new patio out. Fillmore 13 put a new patio out. The Green Door put a new patio out. So you're seeing those types of things happen in the city of Pontiac. And then, I think people are still a little cautious about going out. I think, we did last summer, we did a pizza drive, which we called Pontiac Pizza Night, for the schools in Pontiac, just to get them to kind of participate with the local restaurants. So pizza costs have gone up. So, last year we're seeing like a 25 to 35% increase in food costs. So I think a couple of things are happening. One is the costs are going up and people are getting more conscious of those costs. I think there's some shifts in people's employment that we're seeing. We're talking to manufacturing organizations, and they're experiencing record high sales because they're trying to figure out how to put automation and robotics into businesses where people once were. So on some sides it looks good, on some sides it looks bad, and ultimately, I think we're headed for dramatic change over the next 5 years.
In terms of places where people are gathering into these businesses, places like restaurants, places like music venues, how has this recent situation over the last few weeks, with the increase in case numbers related to Delta variant in the local area throughout the state of Michigan, of course, being a concern, how is that affecting the momentum for these businesses, as for the bulk of the summer, especially since July 1st, when a lot of the state's regulations were relaxed or fully lifted? How is that affecting their continued momentum, for better or for worse, coming out of the pandemic requirement conditions?
Yeah, I think the message is getting out slowly. What the county and the state are saying, I think people are kind of tuning it out in some ways. I think people are still going to see themselves going out, going to venues. I know there's definitely been a conversation in Oakland County, and specifically Pontiac, around returning to mass, right? So, my wife is definitely staying attuned to that, and is like, hey, I know you're out, doing chamber business, but really, the numbers are changing and we need to be more precautious. So I think, the message is starting to get to the community about the precautions that we need to take. I think the impact for businesses is you'll start to see a slowdown. I don't think we've definitely seen it completely slow down yet. But moving forward, kind of the schools are another gauge for us. With we have a number of schools in our district, both charter, public, and private. So we're asking them what their thoughts are, because a number of them did remote only options, and so a number of them are just preparing to do that again.
We're joined by Damanay Head. He is the chair of the Pontiac Regional Chamber, joining us today on the Oakland County MegaCast. You can find more information on the Pontiac Regional Chamber at pontiacrc.com. And let's talk a little bit more, Damanay, about the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the current conditions on getting employees to return to these businesses. We've heard a lot recently about the worker shortage, about job shortages, about arguments with people that are on unemployment not wanting to come back to work because of the pay situation. They're making more on unemployment. Is the COVID-19 situation impacting how many people are looking to go fill those jobs? Because they're available in our community, and these businesses are desperately, in some cases, looking to fill those positions. And is the current situation making people even more apprehensive than maybe they were before to return to the workplace?
I think that's true. I think the other part is, people saved money during the days of receiving their unemployment or whatever, and some people are really resourceful and had under the table jobs or whatever, and they were still making money and they were still getting unemployment checks. So I think when I talked to some of the banks that we are part of our chamber, they saw savings rates go up and deposits were at a certain level. And I think from those discussions I've had, that they were expecting to see those numbers drop off during the summer, but people were choosing to spend their summer with their family. So I would expect coming out of, if nothing changes, we might see an uptick in employment numbers and people going back. I know people in Pontiac are looking for employees, and it's hard pressed. I think part of what's the most concerning part for me, representing the chamber, the Pontiac Regional Chamber, is we love bringing organizations like Amazon to our community, and we didn't do a good enough job, I think, or a decent enough job to improve the workforce levels when Amazon came in. So Amazon, has 1,500 workers in their delivery services, which also changed the price point, right? So they came in at that $15 an hour price point, where there was other organizations, especially mom and pops, that were between $10 and $14. So like, hey, I could go to Amazon and work for 15. Some people were choosing those options. So I think in some ways it was a great thing for the organization and the city to have Amazon here, and then other ways I think we didn't do enough planning to build a more robust pipeline of employees. And so I think we're now having to do that work, and we're a part of working with Oakland County Michigan Works to ramp up and improve the pipeline.
We're joined by Damanay Head on the Oakland County MegaCast. He is the chair of the Pontiac Regional Chamber with us today. And Damanay, I see that currently ongoing until August 20th, the Regional Chamber is supporting through with the Liberty Bar a school supplies drive. You have a number of other events going on that I'm seeing on your chamber's Facebook website. Would you care to give us a little bit of an overview of what's coming up with the Pontiac Regional Chamber and how people can maybe support some of these local organizations, these local businesses, and the chamber itself?
Yeah, so we August 19th, we'll be at Center for Success, which is 245 East Rundell in the Junior Modern Housing District. If you haven't been to the Junior Modern Housing District, it's a great thing to look at. It was built, I think, in the 40s. But slate roofs, beautiful homes. It was a great addition to Pontiac, and there's a small little garden, and there's I think 3 or 4 parks in that community. But we're going to have an event. McAllister Caterpillar Rental will be part of that event, as well as Auk Construction, and we have a number of vendors coming out to that event, where it's really just a homage to the summer, right? It's like, give me some more summer, so we're handing out s'mores to the families, and come take your picture with the Caterpillar. I believe we're gonna have a front loader there. So it'll be a really great time for families to come out and just relax and play games and meet with different vendors. We'll have all the schools there participating. And so, that's probably one of the biggest events. It's kind of our homage to summer, saying goodbye and, making sure that people have a really great time. and it's part of our series called Pontiac's Best Summer Ever 2021. And so, we had Pontiac Pizza Night, which is with Fillmore 13 Brewery, which is our local pizzeria. We also had Sizzling Summer with Harold's Italian Ice, which is our local Italian ice from Philadelphia. The person moved here from Philadelphia, and they make it in Pontiac at one of our local churches. So it's an amazing opportunity to participate with our local vendors in our summer. So Sylvia's Catering will be doing our s'mores, and we're really excited about the opportunity to participate with families in our community.
As I'm listening to you talk, there are clearly so many great things going on in Pontiac, but we've been talking to you for a while throughout the whole pandemic. I just want to know, where's your head at compared to where it was a year ago today? More in general, just how are you feeling about things? When you wake up every day now as opposed to last summer, what's the difference in where you're at? Do you feel good about things, honestly?
I think I have had a different perspective. I've been running the chamber for the last 5 years, and one of the things that I looked at, given my background as an engineer, I ended up in this community because of engineering. I worked for Quaker Chemical, and then I ended up working for General Motors as a contract engineer in their Warren transmission plant, and also their Livonia engine plant, which no longer exists. And so part of it was like, we're transforming as a community and as a world, right? And so I think from my perspective, I had a different viewpoint and vantage point of where we were headed. I think, if you listen to what Steve Case said, he's in his book, he talked about the third wave, right? So the first wave was the infrastructure came into the internet. The second wave was the social networks. And then the third wave is everything's online, right? And so I think we're in the middle of everything's online. And that's just been my kind of perspective over the last 5 years. So when you ask me what do I think about, when I get up, I'm like, e-commerce. That's what I think about. Like, did I sell something today? When I look at where we're headed, I'm like, one of our members canceled an event. I'm like, you don't cancel an event, you make it a hybrid, right? Like, I think there's just these transition points that are happening that we have to all get accustomed to. Like, hey, we can't assume that we're going to be able to do everything face to face anymore. And we have to actually start using the networks that have been invented, the internet and social channels and all those things, to build better and stronger businesses. So, where I'm leading from the chamber is like, look, we just need to get on the on-ramp. This is the on-ramp to where we're headed. And the on-ramp is basically like, you're going to have a hybrid business, right? And you need to be able to basically get your message across, regardless of whether you're meeting face to face or you're going to be remote. So when I wake up, it's like, okay, how can I help business owners like improve their systems to reach their customers or reach more customers? Like, what are the channels that we're using to help people find new customers? So, one of the things that's totally supported, I think, our chamber members is, changing our coffees from a face-to-face to a remote. They don't have to get up at 7 or 6 o'clock in the morning to get to a coffee. They can just wake up, roll out of the bed, push the button on, and find customers. And so, we're really interested in providing more solutions like that to our members of the chamber, and leading the city of Pontiac in that way. That, hey, we're not going back to normal. That's not happening. We need to actually get more integrated with how commerce will be delivered in the future. And I think, Amazon's kind of leading the way in that. And so we're happy to have them here in the city and, partner with them to make that vision possible.
Damanay Head with us on the Oakland County MegaCast. He is the chair of the Pontiac Regional Chamber. Just another minute or two with you before we say goodbye today. Is there anything else that would be important for our audience to know about the business community in Pontiac and the greater area, or any other information that you believe would be interesting or important for us to know today?
Yeah, I'm super excited. We've launched a new campaign called Pontiac Reads, which is a literacy campaign. And so we partnered with Oakland ISD, Oakland University, General Motors, the Balmer Group. General Motors, the Balmer Group, and United Way contributed the first $150,000 to the campaign. So our goal is that every child will be able to read in the city of Pontiac. And we have some really great partners to make that happen. We're really excited about bringing all the school systems together under the Pontiac United Education Coalition and the work we've done over the last 18 months since the pandemic has started. And we think that work will continue. And, we don't know how it's going to shape out this fall, but, our hope is everybody will be back in school and they'll finish the whole school year in school. And if we're not, we're preparing for that. So if you want to find out more about the Pontiac United Education Coalition or Pontiac Reads, you can go to the Pontiac Regional Chamber website, pontiacric.com. And then we're just super excited about the number of restaurants that are doing really innovative things. Liberty Bar is probably one of the oldest bars in the county. And, we're excited about Brett, who's done a really great job to reinvent and reimagine that bar. And then Fillmore 13, the brewery is, they're still chugging along, and, we got a lot of great things to come. And probably the most important thing is Motorbella, right? So everyone's super excited about Motorbella coming. And, we're going to have an event not in Motorbella, but definitely adjacent to it, right next door. And we're excited to bring people to that event. So I'll be looking for more information about that. And we're just, we're chugging along and making sure we keep our members engaged and finding new members.
Well, we appreciate having you on today.
Thank you.